In yesterday's meeting with 10 stake presidencies and about 100 or more bishops, we invited them to ask questions. And I was struck with the fact that the questions they ask are identified very well the problems that are faced by every bishop and stake presidency in North America.
Do you have any counsel for the increasing number of young single adult sisters that are getting disillusioned in the fact that they can't find a worthy priesthood holder to get married to?
That the best thing you can do for a frustrated single woman is to work on the men. We are losing men to activity in their late 20s and in their 30s at a far higher rate than young women, and there aren't enough men to go around. 13 plus years ago, my wife of 46 years died, and I was single for a couple of years. I've tried both married and single. Married is better. And then I met a wonderful woman who had been single into her mid-50s. And when we married, I got a teacher in my own household about these feelings that single women have. In audiences of singles, she says to the single sisters, you have got to accept the fact that you may not be able to marry a worthy priesthood holder in this life. Get busy and make a life for yourself through education, through service, through your employment, and stop sitting around grieving because the Lord didn't have for you the timetable that you desired.
Where do you put your A folks, and what are those great growth callings for the new people coming in or the people coming back?
I think of the subject of assigning missionaries, and the same principles that apply to your calling of a counselor or a secretary in the Relief Society apply to that. When I was called to the Quorum of the 12, the chairman of the mission, and I was assigned to the missionary council, and the chairman was Elder Packer, and Elder McConkie and Elder Faust were the other two members. And so I was the junior in that situation, and Elder McConkie took me as a younger brother to teach me how to assign missionaries. And so I asked him after 3 or 4 weeks, Elder McConkie, how do you know where to send them? And he said, you're the servant of the Lord, and your action is the Lord's action. You study it out in your mind, and you assign them, and they're assigned by the Lord. You see the application of that principle to the bishop? When I go to a stake conference, I always like to shake hands with as many as I can. And I go approximately an hour before the meeting begins, and in an hour I can shake hands with 300 to 500 people, and I think I did that this morning. And that serves two purposes. For me, it gives me the chance to look into the faces of the people and to feel their spirit, and that helps me speak to them later. It narrows the distance between us to meet them personally, old and young. The second purpose is my conviction that in a few weeks they won't remember anything that I said. There might be one person that was struck with something and would remember it, but for the most part they won't remember anything that I said. But if they shook hands with a person who holds the office of an apostle, they'll remember that all their life, and it will be a strength and an inspiration to them, not because of me, but because of the office that I hold.